I'm John Gilmore, Farm Lab Diagnostics. We're here just talking a little bit about taking fecal samples today and how to do it. Essentially, it's a very simple procedure, but we do get these questions. How do you do it? Which type of bottles do you use? Which samples do you take? Do you need to take it directly from the cow? Everything else like that. I suppose the key thing is with any of these things is just go and do it. Just take the sample. It's quite simple. We've got these little sample pots here that we can use, and what I tend to do is just try to identify some individual fresh samples. This yard is relatively clean. We've got a fecal sample here that has been just passed recently, so we just take a sample from that, put it into our little sample pot here, and this is basically going to be used to look for the presence of parasites in there. So what can we find in fecal samples? We can find worms sometimes, especially in younger animals, or we can find fluke eggs, rumen fluke eggs. So basically that's it. Try to fill up the pot. These pots are very useful because they've got a little spoon on them. We supply these along with the kit for sending them in. And again, this is maybe just a number of samples that can be taken from the yard. You can again take one from another pat, or if it's a particular animal, then if you see that you've got a scoury animal or something like that, you can take the sample, put it in, fill up the submission form, and send it off to Farm Lab. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be complicated, and that's all that's into taking the fecal sample and sending it off. People ask sometimes a little bit about, can I take a pooled sample, or what's the difference, or should I take a pooled sample or individual samples? And as with most testing, individual samples will often tell you the most information. The reason for that is when we do pooled samples, we're getting an average result. So we've got one cow that's very high for, say, rumen fluke eggs, and another cow that's quite low, then we get an average result. Sometimes we know more by taking 4 or 5 samples and seeing that 4 are high and 1 is low or whatever. But the key point is, for whatever reason, if you do want to take a pooled sample, it's important that we get the individual samples to the laboratory. If you request them to be pooled, we will pool them. That means that we take equal volumes of feces. It's properly mixed up. It's made into a proper composite sample. So that means that the result that you're getting is representative of all of the samples, rather than a number of feces being taken from 5 or 6 different cows and put into one pot. So you get different weights, different volumes, different types of feces that doesn't mix. So we like to get all of the individual samples, and we can make a composite or a pooled sample out of those when they arrive to the laboratory.